Hi, everyone, and welcome, beautiful souls, back once more to another amazing interview and journey with our very special Dr. Sam Osmanagich. And he is, world renowned, 22 books, numerous peer-reviewed papers, has discovered the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun, is a scientist and researcher. He's an anthropologist and delves into archaeology and all sorts of multidisciplinary wizardry. So, once again, welcome, Dr. Sam. It's wonderful to have you with us tonight.
Thanks a lot. Happy to be here.
Okay, Dr. Sam, last last interview we spoke about sacred geometry in the Bosnian pyramid sites. We took a great journey there, and now we are going even deeper into the Fibonacci link between the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun and the Pleiades, which is a constellation. So, Dr. Sam, for our viewers' edification, could you just please go over again a little about what the Fibonacci sequence is and its importance in relation to life on Earth and our cosmos?
Sure. Traveling the world, investigating the pyramids and megalithic sites, I realized that the ancient builders were applying the elements of sacred geometry when building those sites, when laying out their structures, the monuments, the underground tunnels, the tumuli, and the others. For example, the best known pyramid complex in the world are the Giza pyramids. And if you start with the Fibonacci spiral, which is the shape that we can meet everywhere in the world, if we start from one underground structure called King Thought's Sacred Chamber, we open the spiral, and on this spiral, that one is intersects with the three tops of three major pyramids at the Giza Plateau: Mykerinos, Khafre, and Khufu pyramid.
Mm.
So it seems to me that the ancients had a plan when they were laying out those structures. Also, inside the Great Pyramid of Egypt, when you start with another spiral from so-called King's Chamber, which is the one which is highest in the pyramid, on the Fibonacci spiral, we learn that it touches the bottom of the pyramid and touches the top of the pyramid. So the size, dimensions, the layout of the chamber was predetermined. And the major geometrical element was the Fibonacci spiral.
Mm.
So what is the Fibonacci spiral? We can see it in the case of the seashells or sunflowers or human body or all the way to the spiral galaxies. For me, it is like the way how the creator was using the energy to move the Fibonacci spiral in order to create all the life here on Earth and in the universe.
Mm.
The spiral can also be seen in a layout of some other structures around the world.
Mm.
When it comes to the Bosnian pyramids, in the last year and a half, we have discovered not one, but 13 spirals connecting different summits, different monuments. We have six pyramids: Sun, Moon, Dragon, Earth, Love, and the sixth pyramid. We have underground tunnels, so far seven entrances to those tunnels. We have the tumuli. The tumulus in archaeology is artificial conical hill. We have five of them. And they are all connected with the Fibonacci spirals. It seems that the ancients were very careful how they're going to position their structures. So it is about our earthly monuments. And now we are coming to the next very special connection between what we build here on Earth, or whoever built it, with what is above us. You and I, in our life, have heard numerous times expression as above, so below.
Mm.
In 1990s, first researcher from Belgium, Robert Boal. Actually, in 1989, he wrote his first book about the potential connection between three Giza pyramids and the three stars in Orion belt. Basically, he claimed that the layout of those three pyramids is exactly the same like the layout of those three stars. Orion belt is looking from this position, three small lights, three small stars, part of a bigger star system called Orion, and then Taurus. And indeed, when you connect those three stars, especially today with the telescopic instruments, we can see that when you connect them, you're getting one broken line. It's not even straight line, it is broken line because those three stars, they're not in the same way. When you connect three tops of the Egyptian pyramids, it is a broken line. So Boal claimed back in 89, okay, they're connected, but nobody really knew him at that time, so he spoke to Graham Hancock, who was better known in 1994, and they wrote the book together about this discovery. They added the orientation and position of the Sphinx. So they add symbolical meaning that some of the Egyptian gods, Isis, Osiris, Horus, and so on, might have come from this star system to the Earth and so on. Now, this hypothesis has become so popular among independent researchers, among the public, that millions and millions of people purchased the book, and it really opens some new windows. In order to explain what we have on this planet, there is a potential about the connection with what is above us. Now, it's not simple, to claim that because what we can see the night sky is 100,000 stars. And to claim that the layout of three pyramids is exactly like three specific stars from one star system, it was rather brave at that moment. As a young researcher, then in 1990s, it was really a cool thing for me that, there are some independent researchers claiming something different than the cultural establishment. Well, now when I became a little bit older and more mature, I said, okay, let me try to check this hypothesis, which has been accepted almost by everyone, even the mainstream scientists. The best way to do that is using statistics. There is a scientific method known as the Monte Carlo simulation that can run thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands simulations in order to answer the question, what is the chance or probability that this broken line belongs to the connection between three pyramids and the three stars of the Orion belt? Before that, I said, okay, let me see, is there any other solar system, any star system that has such broken lines? And guess what? When you take Cygnus star system, you have not one broken line between three stars. You have three of them, and they're also a perfect match, like Orion, three stars from Orion belt. Mm-hmm. And then I took Fox star system. There is also broken line. And I took Pegasus, the broken line there. So I said, well, which one is it? Is it Orion, like Hancock and Boal, Schock, and the others were claiming? Or is it Cygnus? Later on, I realized that Andrew Collins claimed that. Or is it Fox, Pegasus? So instead of me guessing, thanks to the artificial intelligence, they can run those analyses, which were before, a few decades ago, take a lot of time to compute that. So now it can be done in a matter of, 20, 50 seconds or a couple of minutes. So I asked, how many potential stars within the same star system has a probability to match the layout of 3 pyramids at the Giza Plateau? It was not 1, it was not 4, it was, Freya, listen to this, 4,429. So the probability Hancock and Boal were right is very slim. I'm not saying they're wrong. What I'm saying is the chance that they were right is so slim. It's not 100%, it's not 50, not 25, it's not 10, it's not 1%, it is 0.04%, less than 1%, fraction of 1%. Well, so that was the first step that I did. But then I was thinking, all right, now we have Bosnian pyramids. We have 6 pyramids. You have some very important, significant spots like mouth of 2 rivers, entrance to the underground world, tumuli, and so on. So we have at least 11 points, probably even more. Okay, let me see, is there any connection with some star system? But if there is, which one? Orion belt is known now. There are some other that are mentioned left and right. There is Sirius and Draco, and this and that. However, the star cluster that has been most mentioned everywhere on all 6 continents is the one that you mentioned in your introductory question, the Pleiades. When I was doing my PhD about the Mayan pyramids, I was traveling the Mayan world, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, Belize, Mexico, and I realized that among cosmic events that we are watching, movement of the sun, equinox, solstice, 4 lunar phases, the third major cosmic aspect for them was the Pleiades. For example, they built certain structures, oval in shape, which we today call observatories. Why? Because when you look from the windows, you can clearly watch the sun during the equinox or solstice or moon and the Pleiades in 2 different positions. One is the most southern and the other one is the most northern position. So this is astronomical proof that they were, following the star system. Secondly, the Mayan civilization had not 1 calendar, not 2, not 3, but 21 calendars. 17 of them, 7. We know exactly what they were about. The shortest, 8 days. The longest, almost 26,000 years. But they had 1 calendar which was 52-year calendar. And that one is devoted to the Pleiades. How do we know? Because it takes 52 years for the Pleiades, when you're looking them at the most southern position, to go to the most northern position and come back to the beginning, 52 years. That was the Maya. Secondly, Aztecs. Aztecs came much later, and the ones, who really met the Spaniards, the Spanish conquerors when they came in the 16th century. And from Spanish, we know that every 52-year period, the Aztecs had the biggest celebration. They would sacrifice the chiefs of the nearby tribes, 52 years. And then when I was doing my book about the Anasazi in the southern US, New Mexico, Utah, Colorado, Arizona and Nevada. They were following the movement of the Pleiades also. Navajo Indians, Hopi Indians, their prophecies, Pueblo Indians. So everywhere in Central and North America, Pleiades.
Mhm.
And then Maori of New Zealand. Then original people of Australia. I mentioned the Pleiades, not under that name. So where did the name come from? It came from the Greek mythology.
Mhm,
It's
mhm,
about seven sisters, and the oldest one being the Maya. And really, here in the Northern
mhm,
Hemisphere, from October until March, we can see this distinctive star system. We can see seven lights. In reality, now we know because of telescopes, it's actually eight lights. But seven of them, and that's how people name them Seven Sister Pleiades. However, 2 to 3 months more, end of November, December, January, we can see two more stars, Atlas, Father, and
mhm,
Pleione, Mother.
mhm.
2 plus 7, so 9 stars. So I was thinking, all right, I have this star map now, Pleiades. I have Bosnian Pyramids. Is there any connection? Because so far, all we have is the oral tradition. Oral. People talk about them. They have them in their legends, they mention them, they talk. But is there a scientific connection? You know, while I lived in the US, 1990s, 2000s, there was a lot of literature about the Pleiades. People claiming they channel beings from the Pleiades star system. People, downloading information from the Pleiades. People like in Switzerland claiming that they met with the Pleiades, their starships came to the Switzerland. So I was reading this literature like I was reading other literature. So I cannot say that I believe or not believe. I simply read it. So it was stored somewhere here, waiting for some other times. And then I connected that to man. Well, they're talking about the Pleiades. Astronomically, it's interesting. Calendar, stories today. It
Mhm.
has to be something there. But like I said, only oral, only talking, talking, talking. So I'm scientist, open-minded, but still scientist. I like to see scientific arguments. So I said, okay, let me see about the connection. First of all, in the Bosnian Valley of the pyramids, we have proofs of the linear geometry. We have straight lines. One straight line connects top of the dragon, temple of Mother Earth, and the moon pyramid. You know, two spots, it's natural, of course. You just connect them with the straight line. But three spots having three summits, well, that's something. It is like
It is.
intelligent design,
Yeah.
intention. But it's not the only straight line. Another one connects the top of the Temple of Mother Earth, Pyramid of Love, Pyramid of Sun, and entrance to underground tunnel. So we have two straight
Mhm,
lines. So I was thinking, okay, do we have something like that in the Pleiades system? And then yes, you have Taygeta, Maya, Alcyon. Perfectly straight line. I said, well, this is something. However, how many straight lines on the night sky? Probably a lot, hundreds and hundreds. If you can find something a little bit more complex, for example, triangle, but not any triangle, because when you connect three stars, it is a triangle. But if you can find something very unique, very special, like equilateral triangle, well, that's something more interesting. And then, of course, in Bosnia, we have an equilateral triangle among the tops of the sun, moon, and dragon. And then I was looking the Pleiades star map, and there are two triangles, not ideal. One of them is rather close, and in both triangles, star Maya is part of it. But Maya, they're not, like I said, perfect. Then I'm thinking, well, how many such, almost ideal triangles on the night sky?
mhm,
Probably a lot. It's still not science. It's interesting, but not science. If we could have something complex and very precise that would connect Bosnian pyramids to the Pleiades, then that would be something. Of course, I mentioned the Fibonacci spirals here in Bosnia, one of them connecting top of the love, the sun, and the earth, the dragon, the tumulus, the other ones connecting the tunnels, the mouth of rivers, and the moon, and the others. Well, I was thinking, okay, is there a Fibonacci spiral in the case of Pleiades? So I was looking at the map. In my head, I was drawing this Fibonacci spiral starting from Merope. No, it's just two of them. I get that. No, it's just two of them. Two, it's not true. I said, okay, if I start from Maya, which is kind of centrally located among the Pleiades, if I start from there, look, it touches this one, that one, that one. And then, of course, I use the uh, perfect geometry of the Fibonacci spiral with those squares. And guess what? 4 stars were ideally intersecting with the first spiral.
Amazing.
I said, well, if you have 3, it's probably intentional. If you have 4, it is not natural. If it is 5, not natural. I said, wow, this is huge. I said, well, probably somebody has discovered that before me. So I went to the internet. I was checking the different AI platforms. Okay, give me scientific articles published about the Fibonacci spiral within the Pleiades star system. The answer was always the same. None. Nobody wrote about it before. What does that mean? It means that I'm probably the first one who established that there is this most important element of sacred geometry, the Fibonacci spiral, which is also colloquially known as the golden section spiral, in the most important star cluster. I said, okay, let's see what's going to happen if I take the map of the Bosnian Wall of the Pyramids and lay it over the star map. And guess what? Where we have Maya, that's exactly where we have the mouth of 2 rivers, water, life. Well, this is logical and promising. The spiral continues, where we have Tageta is the entrance to the underground world. Wow, this is also very important. Now look at discovery in Egypt. You have the whole new world below the ground. And in the case of Bosnian Pyramid tunnels, so far we have cleared sensationally 3.6 kilometers of those tunnels. And I believe this is just a fraction of the original size. Maybe it was 100 kilometers. So entrance to underground world is so important. And this spiral, which is in the case of the Pleiades, terminated Alcyone. In the case of Bosnian Pyramids, it terminates at the top, the summit of Tumulus. Now look at the name of the village where Tumulus is located. It is called Vratnica. In Bosnian language, Vratnica, Vrata means gate. Gate. And indeed, this Tumulus is gate to the Bosnian Valley of the Pyramids. So now imagine on symbolical level how important, but more importantly on geometrical and mathematical. So if you have 3 or more points that intersect with the spiral, it is an intention. So those spirals match. I said, okay, let me see if this is the only one. So besides those 7, like I said, we have father and mother. So Atlas is father. If we start from father, we go through mother, Merope, and Maya. Wow, that's another Fibonacci spiral in case of Pleiades with the 4 points. Not coincidence. I took the Bosnian pyramid map where we have Atlas and Pleione. We have top of the Love and the Sun pyramid. And again, it terminates at the top of the tumulus. And the third one, I started from Mother, from Pleione, again, Maya, here, Sun, tumulus. 3 spirals match. This is where it gets really exciting. I said, all right, this planet has many, not only archaeological sites, but summits of just regular natural mountains and hills. Let's see if there is a place on this planet where we have three spirals on the ground. And those three spirals match with the three spirals within any of the visible star systems. Like I said, 100,000 visible stars. So what is the possibility that we have those two triplets match? I ran Monte Carlo simulation, and the answer was none. Triplets match what is terrestrially with what is celestially. Or they say probability P is less than 0.0001. Only the Bosnian Pyramids.
That's
So
wild.
what do we have now?
Wild.
And then I wrote the scientific article and I sent it to the International Scientific Journal.
Mm-hmm.
And it was not journal about the archaeology. It was journal of statistics and mathematics. Why did I send it to them? Because you have engineers, you have mathematicians, you have people who deal with the statistical methods. This is what they do. They don't care if it is about the astronomy, if it is about the production, if it is about this and that. They check your scientific methodology.
Mm.
Two of them, two reviewers, have checked. It passed, and the article was published. In other words, it has become the part of the scientific data from now
Amazing.
to the time to come. In the meantime, since last July until now, the spring of 2026, I published 5 more articles doing different mathematical and statistical methods about this connection between Bosnian pyramids and the Pleiades. However, my first article was actually about the comparison. I compared Orion Belt theory and the Egyptian pyramid, and the Pleiades theory and Bosnian pyramids. And this is where I'm giving the information, hypothesis by our friends, which was very important at the time in 1990s, Weil and Hancock. Why it was important? Because it opened the whole new way of thinking. Like Erich von Däniken, 1967, Chariots of God. It opened the new way of thinking. Don't stay, limited and conservative and strict. So look at the sky. It really helped to make this groundbreaking discovery in Bosnia. So I'm comparing their, basically showing, their theory was based on the observation. They are looking, look at those three stars, look at the top, observation. And symbolism, the gods came, stuff like that. But in the case of Bosnian pyramids, we have number one, astronomy, the star map. Number two, we have archaeology. We discovered the pyramids. We've been doing archaeological digging, showing that the pyramid of the sun is actually a structure, a pyramid, the moon, a structure, dragon, tunnels, and so on. Number three, geometry. We have major elements of sacred geometry. We have straight lines, we have equilateral triangles, and we have 3 Fibonacci spirals. Number four, math, because Fibonacci spiral is a result of very precise mathematics. It relies on Fibonacci sequence and the golden ratio, 1.618. Number five, statistics. Using statistical methods, we are proving that there is no other potential system that can match the same like here in Bosnia. So using those 5 methods, basically we have grounded this theory in science.
Amazing work, Dr.
So,
Sam.
so now we have proven that we are scientifically right, and we have scientifically proven that the expression as above, so below. It is not just in the domain of the oral tradition, but there is a connection between what we have terrestrially and what we have above there. And I have called that the Pleiades Code of the
Mm,
Bosnian Pyramids. And really, they have imprinted their code here on Earth. And the time has come to learn about this code and to read it.
yeah.
Even though the Bosnian Pyramids remember the code, it does not belong to Bosnia. It's of
Mm.
global importance. So, having this discovery, I decided to write a new book, number
Oh,
23. It's not 22 no more. It is 23, which is called the Pleiades Code of the Bosnian Pyramids. Seven sisters and the oldest pyramids on Earth. And instead of me publishing it, I talked to Barnes and Noble, which is the
beautiful.
largest chain of the bookstores in the world. Of course, they are headquartered in America, and they are my publisher, and the book will be published in April of 2026. It can be found
Wow.
there. In the meantime, those listeners who wants to read it now, they can buy the ebook only for 8 European euros, which is what, 10, 12 Australian dollars. So the site is the pleiadescode.com, the pleiadescode.com. Right now it is 10 languages, English and Bosnian, Croatian, Serbian, and the Czech language, and Hungarian, and Italian, and the French, and the Spanish, and Romanian is coming, Chinese is coming, Persian is coming, German, all these languages are coming. So people will be able to see that, and once they download information, they can, you know, uh, share this book freely. So it's not about knowledge belonging to anyone. It's not about the copyright. I don't care about it. Let people read, and then they have it. So, and the final words. You see, prayer, our civilization, 21st century, live in different coordinates. We think from election to election. We're going to choose this guy or that guy, or this woman or that. It's 4 years. What is 4 years? Nothing.
Nothing. It's a blink
The
of an eye.
ancient pyramid builders, especially Bosnian pyramid builders, had different concepts. In front of them were thousands of years, millennia upon millennia. They were thinking in terms of energy, spirituality, consciousness, sacred geometry, cosmic dance. That's what Fibonacci spiral is about. Cosmic harmony and cosmic balance. And that's what the Pleiades Code is really about.
It's beautiful, Dr. Sam. I'm sure by the time this interview comes out, your book will be on the shelves. So we will make sure that we include a link to that for our viewers. It's really exciting. I know I'll be ordering a copy, quick, smart. And one final little question for you, if that's okay, just to round it out. Um, because it wouldn't be me if I didn't ask you one curly one, right? So, given that the pyramids are amplifiers, they're full of quartz, that we have a perfect representation in architecture, in physical three-dimensional geometry that matches with the Pleiades star system. In science, there's a term or concept called a stargate. And this is something that connects two distant points in space or even time. And whilst I understand that they haven't been 100% proven yet, what are your thoughts? Do you consider that the Bosnian Pyramid complex just could be a stargate to the Pleiades?
discovery of this connection, which is scientifically based, actually does not help us much. It simply raises tons of other questions. Why with this star system? What was the purpose? Who really built it? Were the people from Pleiades who built this you know pyramid complex, so they will have connection for teleportation and maybe cosmic gate. So when I was thinking about the concept of cosmic gate or movements through space and time, what do you need for that? Number one, you need very strong energy field. It's always about the energy. If the field is there, and if you have your technology, your techniques, then yes, you can move through space and time. In some of those books that I read, I was reading that the Pleiadians were using actually our planet for special purposes. They are coming here for spirituality, for healing, for giving birth, for this and that. At that time, I could not connect it. How is it possible? Why then? Why? Does this discovery of the scientific connection between the two bring us a step closer to affirm that idea? I don't know. Maybe it does. Right now, I can speculate, but as long as we combine physical, material science with the spiritual science, I think we are getting closer to answer all our questions regarding the origin of those
Mm-mm-mm.
ancient monuments and maybe of our origin, because it is also at least 50% cosmic origin.
I love it. So exciting as always, speaking with you, Dr. Sam. Really looking forward to our next interviews where we're starting to delve more into the healing aspects of the Bosnian Pyramid complex and the Ravna tunnels. So that will be perfect for our next little adventure. And until then, I wish you the very warmest and best wishes to you in your adventures and journeys. And look forward to seeing you again then. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.